You might hold a $100 bill, look at it and smell it. Say it's just money. But if you look into its history, you'll find that this money has passed through many hands, and gone to places more horrific than imagination. People were killed for it, betrayed because of it, and it was transferred from a drug dealer to a hired killer, to someone washing it to make it look clean, as if it was never stained. But the truth? Nothing washes away blood. The one who launders money washes himself of the charges, makes the forbidden look permissible, turns the wrong into something legal, and the more professional the work, the more justice stands paralyzed. There are crimes hidden behind sales contracts, fake invoices, and empty restaurants making millions. These are not stories, these are facts. And today I will open a file on one of the most dangerous financial crimes you might ever see in your life. It's called money laundering. What does money laundering mean? And how did this story begin? Money laundering is simply the art of camouflage. How to turn money coming from a crime into money that looks legal, and can be deposited in banks without anyone suspecting you or asking you where you got it from. But the matter is much deeper than that. Money laundering occurs in 3 stages. 1. Deposit. The money enters the financial system like a bank or company. 2. Camouflage. You start moving it between accounts, transfers, investments, as if you're confusing the police and state agencies. 3. Integration. That's it. The money has entered the market cleanly. You can use it to buy a company, property, yacht, or even a football club. But who was the first one to invent this game? And who thought of laundering money instead of burying it? The first money launderer, Al Capone, the Emperor of Chicago. Al Capone is not just a criminal, he's a legend, a mafia on his own. In the 30s, America was in the midst of the Great Depression and the government banned the sale of alcohol. But Capone, he took advantage of the situation and started selling alcohol secretly along with drugs, prostitution, and gambling. He was making millions weekly, literally. But the problem was with all that money. Where would he spend it? If he puts it in a bank, the government will be suspicious. If he keeps it at home, it will get messy. So he came up with a brilliant solution. He bought laundries. He would open a laundromat on every street and put in millions in monthly income. Even though this laundromat doesn't see 2 customers a day. But the paperwork was fine. The reports were in order, as if the money was coming from washing clothes. And that's where the term money laundering came from. The strange thing? The government couldn't imprison him for murder, drugs, or arms trafficking. In the end, they imprisoned him on charges of tax evasion. He went to jail because he didn't pay taxes on the money he laundered. And then the issue spread in a strange way and through different methods. I mean, not everyone who wants to launder their money goes and opens a laundromat. No, they invested in any large projects and you know the rest. BCCI Bank, when the bank itself becomes the mafia. Let's get to the 80s, when crime put on a suit and tie and entered the banks. BCCI Bank, established in 1972 for a Pakistani businessman named Aga Hassan Abedi, with headquarters initially in Luxembourg, then moved to London. It looked like an ordinary bank from the outside, but from the inside, it was an international money laundering den, bigger than any mafia. The ones laundering money there are not just drug dealers. This also includes intelligence agencies, heads of state, arms companies, and terrorist organizations. This bank opened branches in more than 70 countries and operated with billions of dollars. People thought it was a bank for investment and development, but the truth? It was moving like a spider web. Every branch was laundering for someone, and every transfer was followed by a disaster. In the end, the press started to doubt this matter. What kind of bank has turned into one of the largest banks in the world in just a few years, with the size of assets and investments it handles? They kept investigating until they uncovered the terrifying truth, opened people's eyes, and the scandal exploded. And it became a public issue, and the usual massive fire broke out for every institution trying to hide traces and documents in the hands of many people. But the fire couldn't hide everything, and the bank was completely shut down. Its executives were imprisoned, and countries lost billions. Money laundering in the world of football. When the game gets dirty, people love soccer and they believe it's just passion, fans, and deals behind it. But the truth? There are many deals in football that were just a front for money laundering. In Colombia, one of the major drug traffickers owned a football club, and he spends millions on it from cocaine profits. He used to buy players at outrageous prices, sell them again at a higher price, and the difference? They get washed. And in Africa, There are clubs owned by businessmen, but in reality, they are arms and illegal gold dealers. And in Europe, suspicions have arisen around player transfers that suddenly skyrocket in an illogical manner. Like a player who was being sold for 5 million suddenly being paid 70 or 80 million. All of this is just a way for illegal money to enter the market legally, and sold as a professional contract. The Hush Puppy case, the Instagram money laundering star. In Dubai there was one who was stealing the spotlight, luxury cars, global brands, parties and constant travel. Her Instagram is filled with luxurious photos and people are asking, what does she do? Her real name no one knew it, until Interpol came after her. It turned out she was an online scammer. She was stealing data from global companies, sending fake invoices and taking millions into accounts in fake companies. The money, it was invested in real estate, restaurants and import-export companies all over the world. I mean, the money was being laundered while it was laughing in its pictures. Until she got caught in the biggest cyber chase, was imprisoned in America and became a global scandal. Until I got caught in the biggest cyber chase, got imprisoned in America, and became a global scandal. Conclusion and lesson. Money laundering is not just a financial crime, this is a psychological crime because whoever does it must have no shred of conscience. He sacrifices a country, a people, victims, just to appear clean. But no matter what he does, the paper can be forged, banks can be deceived, but history, it never makes mistakes. And the ending's always dark. Al Capone, he died humiliated. Bank BCCI, it was shut down forever. Hush Puppy, from Instagram to prison. There are some money that, no matter how shiny it is, its smell will expose it. And those who play with fire must get burned. They all fell, because dirty money, no matter how much it's washed, its smell never goes away.